Alright, video 4, here we go. Hamas sympathizers start yelling at facts.
So who ran Gaza up until 2005?
Same thing.
No, Israel did. Israel used to occupy the Gaza Strip. 10,000 Jews left Gaza. The IDF totally withdrew. Why did Israel do that?
You tell me, you're the one at the table.
To pursue peace, because they were promised a peace deal if they got out of Gaza.
And
Then Hamas took over as mayor of Gaza, and it's now a hot tub for terrorists, where there are thousands of rockets every single month.
Where was the peace that happened after they withdrew?
Exactly. Israel signed a peace accord, and the PA violated it.
But
So this is the way peace.
occupying territory.
They weren't occupying. They got out.
But you just said Israel occupied that territory
Correct.
in Gaza until they got out. So that's not.
No, but they got out on a condition of peace. So they said, we will get our 10,000 Jews out of Gaza. So 10,000 Jews used to live in Gaza.
Failed to recognize that they were occupying someone's territory, and that's
Well, so who is Gaza's territory? Whose is that?
it's Palestinian.
Egypt. It's been Egypt for 2,000 years. Okay. So since you understand this, maybe, how did Israel win back that territory?
Sinai deal.
Right. So in the 1967 war, they pushed back Egypt all the way to their borders, and so they gave up.
6-Day War, I think. Yeah.
The Sinai Desert in pursuit of peace at Egypt. That worked. Egypt all the way to their borders, and so they gave up the Sinai Desert in pursuit of peace at Egypt. That worked.
That worked.
So then they kept the occupation of Gaza, which there's factories and rolling hills and vineyards, a lot of wealth there. There's 2 million people that live in Gaza, more or less. 10,000 Jews lived on the eastern skirt of Gaza. So in pursuit of peace, in the 2005 peace talks, Israel said, you know what? We want peace. As a condition, we'll get out if you guys have real peace with us. Stop launching rockets, stop building terror tunnels, stop killing our children, all these sorts of things.
2005. In 2005, Israel disengaged from the Gaza Strip by dismantling all 21 Israeli settlements there. As part of this process, 4 Israeli settlements in the West Bank were dismantled as well. The disengagement was executed unilaterally by Israel and without coordination with the Palestinian National Authority. So after Israel left the Gaza Strip in 2005, Hamas just kind of came in and took control. That's what it looks like.
Are you pro-Hezbollah or?
Can I ask a question?
Sure, happy to.
What formal education do you have?
Plenty.
So silly when these students, these kids who ask this, they think they have a feeling or a sense of superiority to other people just because they're attending or they've attended college. Stupidest people I've ever met in my life have master's degrees, okay? Some of the stupidest people I've ever seen in my life in the public space, they have doctorates, they have PhDs. Some of the most evil people we've ever seen are highly educated. So this notion or this kind of gotcha argument they bring up about education level is just formal education level is just so ridiculous. It's just silliness, and honestly, it's just an admission of defeat if they're in a debate or an argument. Just admitting they have nothing to argue.
I mean, formal education.
Sure, happy to.
What formal education do you have?
Plenty.
I mean, formal education. There's like a
If you're going to argue from authority, that's a logical fallacy. Tell me why I'm wrong. Don't tell me how many degrees you have.
Don't ask me to change the conversation.
I'm actually,
What formal education-
I would argue I'm more informed because I didn't go to college.
And then this kid just said, "Don't." What do you say?
Ask me to change the conversation.
Don't ask me to change the conversation. When how do we get to this line of discussion in the first place? Charlie asked him a question, and then he immediately ignored it, brushed it to the side, and said, "Can I ask you a question?" And redirected it to this.
Rockets, stop building terror tunnels, stop killing our children, all these sorts of things. Are you pro-Hezbollah or?
Are you pro-Hezbollah? And then he just brushes it off. Watch.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Can I ask you a question? So just completely contradicts himself. He did the exact thing he's complaining about literally less than 30 seconds prior. It's just insane.
Name one example. Can you name one example of how I'm oppressive? And I've traveled the world, and I've met with world leaders, and I've argued. Tell me how many degrees you have.
Don't ask me to change the conversation.
I'm actually. I would argue I'm more informed because I didn't go to college, and I've traveled the world, and I've met with world leaders, and I've read many books. So tell me.
Oppressive to a lot of minorities that you've met around the world.
How am I oppressive? Can you name one example of how I'm oppressive?
I can name a lot of examples.
Can you name one? Name one example of how I'm oppressive because you just said it.
Literally here telling people that they are wrong about views and their.
Well, no, they just don't have facts.
So this guy thinks that telling people that they're wrong. So telling people that they're wrong is oppressive. He thinks that a disagreement of opinion is oppressing people. Okay.
Am I oppressive? Can you name one example of how I'm oppressive?
I can name a lot of examples.
Can you name one? Name one example of how I'm oppressive because you just said it.
Literally here telling people that they are wrong about views and their.
Well, no, they just don't have facts. Can you tell me one time that I've been wrong about anything I've said? Tell me a time that Israel has launched an offensive war.
To Lebanon.
They didn't. They're attacking Hezbollah. It's within their
It
borders.
was to Lebanon. They don't just attack.
Hezbollah occupies southern Lebanon, which is Iranian funded, is it not?
Really? I had no idea. Thank you for informing me.
Anytime. Maybe if you.
No comment. No comment on yeah. Just look how this kid responds.
Southern Lebanon, which is Iranian funded, is it not?
Really? I had no idea. Thank you for informing me.
Anytime. Maybe if you didn't go to college, you would learn more.
Oh, you're so right. You're so right.
Here's the thing. But like IDF is a terrorist organization.
How is the IDF is a terrorist organization?
Yeah. No, according to a lot of people.
Wait, hold on a second. The IDF.
Not me, but like a lot of countries around.
Why is it that they haven't built a new school or hospital in the last 5 years? Hundreds of millions of dollars pour into Gaza. It's because Hamas runs Gaza right now, and they're a terrorist organization. So Israel got out of Gaza in 2005 in the pursuit of peace. 10,000 Jews were actually forced out of their homes in the pursuit of peace. Gaza got more dangerous. It became a hot tub for terrorists. You know where Hamas's money is being spent? On terror tunnels and rockets being shot towards Tel Aviv. Where were those 2 rockets shot 2 weeks ago out of? They were shot out of Gaza. Yeah, 2 rockets. Oh, what's the big deal? Yeah, who cares when Jews have rockets shot at them, right? Because Israel is fighting a defensive right for its own national sovereignty. All Israel has done since 1967 is go backwards. All Israel has done.
The UN sent an Asian diplomat, I forget his name exactly what it was, to go investigate crimes against humanity in Gaza. Israel did not allow him to enter Gaza because they said his visa wasn't valid, and that was published in an Israeli newspaper.
Okay, so I'll have to look into that. If that's the case, then I'll say that you're correct. But here's the question, though. So Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East right now. They're practicing democracy. Muslims, Jews, and Christians.
Israeli citizens vote in the upcoming elections then.
Well, they can. Hold on a second. First of all, many Palestinians in Palestinian Authority, that is in Zone B, not Zone A, can vote in elections. Secondly, here's the question: you want them to be able to vote both in PA elections and Israeli elections? Why hasn't the PA had an election in 12 years? Mahmoud Abbas is a dictator of the PA that uses the money and the aid that we give him to enrich himself. Mahmoud Abbas. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on, but I thought he was.
I don't know anything about different zones in Gaza or anything like that. And I don't know anything about the PA having a dictator or not. Or anything about what kind of ruler they have or what kind of position their ruler has. So I'd be curious. Same guy. Mahmoud Abbas, also known by the blah blah blah, is a Palestinian politician who's been serving as the second president of Palestine and the Palestinian National Authority, the PNA, since 2005. $20 That's a dictator. See, for all these Democrats and liberals out there who pretend to be scared that Donald Trump is going to magically run for a third term, a real or call him a dictator. A real dictator is Vladimir Putin, who's been in charge of Russia for what, over a decade now. How long has Vlad been there? I'm curious. Vladimir Putin, 13 years. Vladimir Putin who's been in charge of Russia for 13 years, or this Mahmoud Abbas fellow in the Palestinian National Authority who's been in rule for 20 years. That's a dictator. Trump's going to be gone in 2028. If you all don't kill him first, that is. And then if you do kill him, Vance is going to take over, and he's going to ride that wave to becoming at least the next president for the next 4 years. And the way things are going right now, Vance is probably going to be the next president anyways, because I'll tell you what, Gavin Newsom's never going to be the president. Can't even keep his own state from burning every single year massively. Insane. Anyways, got a little derailed. Back up a little bit.
Of the PA that uses the money and the aid that we give him to enrich himself. Mahmoud Abbas, hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on, but I thought he was democratically elected. So why don't you guys have students against the Palestinian Authority, not students against Israel? The Palestinian Authority.
Palestinian Authority isn't holding guns against Palestinian children.
Palestinian Authority was democratically elected 12 years ago. Mahmoud Abbas has not had any checks and measures against him. In Nablus, he lives in a 25,000 square foot mansion. Here's the bottom line: is that Arabs are better served under Israeli government than under the Palestinian Authority government. Arabs are. I'm sorry, what? Wait, I'm sorry, what?
When they're in the ground dead, that's where a majority of Palestinians end up.
What are you? A majority of Palestinians end up dead? How dare you say something like that? There's 15.5 million people that live in the Palestinian Authority. Half of them end up dead? So you're trying to tell me that 7.5 million Palestinians have been killed? Is that what you're trying to say?
7.5 million live in the... I've never seen that number.
Well, it's actually 15.5 million is if you count the PA and Israel together. You're right. It's more.
Israel. It was including Israel. 10. Okay. 2.
It's more 6 million Palestinian Authority, 9.5 million.
Palestinian Authority. PCBS. So closer to 5 million now. Map. Now, does this include... That doesn't include Lebanon, right? I don't think so. What's that map? No, that's not the map I want. Oh, I see Area A, B, C, annexed by Israel. Palestinian territories. Gaza Strip over here. I see it's much more convoluted than I thought. I didn't know about all these zones over here.
Israel together. You're right. It's more 6 million Palestinian Authority, 9.5 million in Israel proper. So it's about 15 combined. So 6 million. So you're trying to tell me 3 million people have been killed? 3 million people have been killed by the IDF? That's not even close to being true. So let me ask.
Listen to me. There's a difference between Zionism and anti-Semitism.
Then build it out for me.
You don't support the state of Israel doesn't mean.
So let me get this straight. You don't hate Jews. You just hate the Jews' right to exist in their homeland.
You're not even Jewish. You can't speak for you.
Okay.
Wait, hold on a second.
They're not black. You want me to exist, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the worst identity politics arguments. Just because I'm not something, it doesn't make me wrong.
No, you're not. It's apartheid state of Israel.
That's not in line with conservative politics.
How so?
Because there is no.
This guy just said the issue is you don't have an argument in place that's not in line with conservative politics. So, conservatives are right on a lot of things. Liberals are right on a number of things as well. I wouldn't say a lot, but they're right on some things too. Both sides, I'd say both sides are right on a number of issues. I can't imagine being like this guy and thinking that every single thing that someone on one side of the aisle says is wrong. Don't live your life by party. That's a stupid, ignorant way to go through life. Be an independent. Even if you agree more with one side or the other, be an independent. Don't lock yourself in to one party or the other. Be an independent. Use your own head. Use your eyes, use your ears, use your brain. Process the information put out. Pay attention to trends. Hey, this person lied about this, this, and this. They're probably being dishonest about this. But I don't know. Maybe I'll go investigate it a little more. Try to see if they're being genuine. Use your own brain. It's a terrible way to go through life.
Separation of church and state.
Then why can then let me ask you a question.
It's apartheid state of Israel.
That's not in line with conservative politics.
How so?
Because there is no separation of church and state.
Then why can then let me ask you a question. Why can Christians freely practice their religion in Israel, but Jews can't freely practice their religion in the Palestinian Authority?
How are Jews not
practicing it?
What happens if an Israeli citizen goes into a Bethlehem? What happens if a Jew goes into Bethlehem? If a Muslim goes into Jerusalem, they can go to a mosque. That's what happens.
Do you know what happens at Al-Aqsa? Do you know what happens?
Al-Aqsa Mosque?
People are turned away because they can't pray in their own place.
Well, hold on a second. They have full access to Al-Aqsa Mosque. I was there myself. I was around 500 Muslims on the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Hold on a second. Jews' heads are cut off in Hebron if they go to Hebron. Jews and Israelis are not allowed in Palestinian Authority.
I was just in Hebron. I was just in
So I was in Hebron 3 weeks ago. You know what happens if a Jew goes? If a Jew goes to Hebron, their head will get cut off. Okay, so Jews are not allowed in the Temple Mount. You do know that, right?
No, I'm saying Palestinians, Muslims going.
I love the cut. Like they're all angry, yelling, and just like pissed off. They just cut. They're like, okay, cut some of this out. Just get them calmed down. They're being emotional, not rational. I don't know. Maybe that girl, she was over there. Someone told her something different, or maybe she experienced something different. And Charlie was over there. His experience was different. So I don't know. I'm sure. Looks like they came to some kind of understanding.
You know what happens if a Jew goes?
Hilarious cut to me, though.
If a Jew goes to Hebron, their head will get cut off. Okay, so Jews are not allowed in the Temple Mount. You do know that, right?
No, I'm saying Palestinians, Muslims going into Al-Aqsa.
Right. So it's very hotly debated.
No, actually, when I was there, I was praying at Al-Aqsa, and I saw IDF soldiers coming in while I was praying.
Okay.
Did they stop you? Did they stop you from praying?
They throw like tear gas.
No, they don't. Not the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Did they?
They throw like tear gas. So they didn't. To be clear, they didn't throw tear gas at her. She didn't see them throw tear gas. She just heard about it. Even though apparently she was there, it didn't happen to her. Someone told her, "Hey, this is what they did, or this is what they'll do, or this is what they might do." No, that's why she worded it like that.
Did they stop you from praying?
They throw like tear gas.
No, they don't. Not the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Did they stop you from praying?
No.
I shouldn't be in.
You see her hesitate? No, they didn't. Just say no, they didn't.
No, they don't. Not the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Did they stop you from praying?
I shouldn't be in fear while
But they don't do what you say they're doing. I'm just telling you, it's not true. Did they? But I don't think you're representing reality.
I was literally there.
So let me ask a question.
I don't think you're representing reality. She responds, I was literally there. They didn't stop her from praying. Nothing bad happened to her. They didn't throw tear gas, evident by how she answered. They didn't do anything. She went there, she prayed, she saw some IDF soldiers, and I guess the very sight of IDF soldiers just terrified her so much that what did she do? She returned to the States completely unharmed, completely fine. Okay. Sure.
I don't think you're
such a victim.
Representing reality.
I was literally there.
So let me ask a question.
She wasn't there, that wasn't happening, but she understood that it was happening in other times around that moment.
I was there. You should not be able to prove your religion. You should be able, if a Muslim.
Okay, that's a really interesting point. So Jews should be allowed on the Temple Mount, because the Muslims don't allow them on the Temple Mount right now. So Jordanian control the Temple Mount.
It was since
the Jordanians control the Temple Mount? I didn't know that. Wait. Called the Waqf, WAQF. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Interesting.
allow them on the Temple Mount right now. So Jordanian control the Temple Mount.
It was since the Prophet Muhammad. It was there since the Prophet Muhammad.
Oh, okay. So do you think? Here's the thing. So do you think Jews should be allowed on the Temple Mount?
It's a.
So you don't think it's a Temple Mount because if you do,
you see her shrug. Yes, she does. She does believe that. She does.
Jews should be allowed on the Temple Mount.
Look at her shrug.
It's a.
You see that shrug?
So you don't think it's a...
She does. She agrees. She agrees with Charlie that every religion should be able to practice wherever they would like. So she doesn't believe in religious discrimination, and that's why this argument, this debate, is so difficult for her, because every point he's making is against religious discrimination, and I don't know what she's arguing for. She's arguing that she's heard that things happen, but she hasn't witnessed it, and Charlie's coming from a place of personal experience, which refutes what the rumors she's heard. So she doesn't know what to do.
So do you think Jews should be allowed on the Temple Mount?
It's a.
So you don't think it's a Temple Mount, because if you do, that's the very interesting thing. If you just say it's a Temple Mount, I'm putting you admittedly in a very difficult position, because Muslims do not recognize it as the Temple Mount.
Right, they recognize it as their place of worship, and it's been that way since the beginning.
No, it's been the Temple Mount since King David. Thank you very much. So, I mean, you could say whatever you wanted to say. It's a huge point. It's actually it's one of the biggest inhibitions of peace, I think.
Yeah. That's like a fundamental disagreement around the original ownership of a highly sacred place. Like that's a huge point of contention.
Whatever you wanted to say. It's a huge point. It's actually it's one of the biggest inhibitions of peace. I think that Jews and Muslims and Christians should all be allowed to go to the Temple Mount. Right now, Muslims do not allow Jews to go into the Temple Mount. One rabbi is allowed to go in once a year. That's it. That's the treaty. Why is that? How is that fair? Why are Jews not allowed to go? But I mean, Muslims are allowed to go to their holy sites. You just said you were allowed to go.
Okay, but so people doesn't mean that other people aren't allowed to go.
And if that's the case, then I'll totally denounce it. But you are a living example that you were allowed to go.
Yeah. It's hard to argue with reality. Goodness gracious. It's kind of funny to me too that Charlie he does really good when
you are a living example that you were allowed.
He does such a good job when people.
And if that's the case, then I'll totally denounce it. But you are a living example that you were allowed to go.
He does such a good job when people are like aggressive or hostile, of just remaining composed and calm, completely stone-faced even. So it's just kind of funny for me to see him kind of get a chuckle out of this situation with this girl. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have too much to say on like holy sites in Israel, but I thought it was a pretty good conversation. I think you can see like some things in that girl. Like she clearly doesn't believe in religious discrimination. She clearly agrees with them here. She thinks anyone should be able to practice their religion, or probably preach it too, if you ask her, anywhere they want. So I mean, I think she's struggled so much throughout this debate because she knows, she's realizing as it goes, hey, I actually agree with them more and more here and here, but she just doesn't want to accept it. So she's fighting against herself here. Anyways, pretty good video. I'll probably make this video number 4. I might do another one a day. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Anyways, peace.